He said, I found the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood, and you're gonna love it. So, you know, packing a house with the 3 little kids while he was working up here was very rough. I didn't care what the house looked like. I just wanted us to come to a home. So we moved into 23 Sheridan Street, which is walking distance from here, which is walking distance from everywhere in town. We absolutely love it. And along the years, I've found a lot of history about the house. It's very interesting to know that my neighborhood is surrounded by generations of families that have lived there, just being passed on to nieces and granddaughters. And you know, I hear so many stories whenever I go to someone's house about how their grandmother grew up there, or they left the town and they came back to retire. I mean, that just happened 2 years ago to an elderly couple that moved across the street from us. So I know we're in the right place. I said, you know, this is definitely a loved area. Our house came up to discussion because we're always renovating. Our house was built in 1894, so there's always updating to do. And last year my husband painted the house, and my daughter drew this picture for Miss Mary, because we're always telling her all the work that we're doing, and I'm always exhausted and running around with the kids. So that is the picture of our house. But then I remember telling Miss Mary, oh my gosh, I have a picture on my phone. I have 2 pictures on my phone of when we took it right when it was winter. And I had taken a picture, and it was kind of slight, you know, slanted. And then I took a second picture right after it. Well, when I went to print them, I didn't realize that I had a mist in front of the doorway in one of the pictures that I believe is a relative in the house. Whenever someone asks where I live, I tell them it's the Flynn house. They've lived in that house for over 80 years. One daughter, Lucy, who actually worked for the Do-It Lumberyard all her life.
Okay, sure.
She owned the house, never married, never had children. And then her niece bought the house, Mary Lou Flynn, who is currently still alive. She lives
in the elderly.
Yes, yep, she is. And here she's a Spitfire, so I'd have to go visit her someday because that sounds like me. And but a couple of strange things have happened in the house. I've always felt a very warm, welcoming feeling. I'm very sensitive. So when I moved in, I knew that that was a loved house, and I find myself talking to the house, which I've never done before, and find out later that, you know, Lucy had died in the house, so I've always felt she was there. While my son, she also helps out. My son was on the computer, and it was his time. We timed the length of time our kids use our computer. And it was his time to get off the computer, and he wasn't listening. And he's up in the office, and of course he's ignoring me. And he came flying down the stairs, terrified. And I said, what happened? And he said, someone spoke in my ear and said, hey. And I said, so I froze, and I said, well, who do you think it was? He said, it was a grandma. That's what he said. And instantly, I said, that's her. That was her. So when I took that picture, I took it as a compliment that she posed in front of the house, and she approved that we painted it from white to yellow.
Yes.